Remember all that buzz about ChatGPT? Well, it turns out that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that was just a little taste of what's to come.
Right. Today, we're going deep, like really deep.
Deep dive time.
Exactly. A deep dive into how generative AI is going to like completely change the game
Oh, yeah.
for entire companies. I mean,
It's not just about automating a few tasks anymore. This is like next level.
it is, and it can feel a little overwhelming, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
So consider this deep dive your express lane.
Like cheat sheet.
Yeah, to understanding this whole seismic shift that's happening, with AI.
This huge shift.
It is. And lucky for us, we have this incredible MIT Technology Review report to guide us.
Oh, it's a fantastic report.
It is. They talk to, CIOs from huge companies like Adobe,
Yeah, DuPont.
Shell. Oh, yeah. Plus experts from MIT and Databricks.
It's people on the front lines of all this.
Yeah, like the folks who are really shaping the future right here, right now.
It's happening right now.
It is happening. So our mission today is to,
Distill all that expertise.
yes, into the key insights that you actually need to know.
The need to know stuff.
Yes, about how this tech is going to impact you.
Because it's going to impact everyone, whether
Oh,
you're
absolutely. Whether you're deep in the tech world.
or just curious about what's coming next, what's on the horizon.
Yeah, what does the future even look like at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so one thing that really jumped out at me in this report was that generative AI is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's not just a cool tech demo anymore,
Yeah, it's totally moved beyond those early days.
Like the gee whiz moments.
Yeah, the gee whiz moments. Now it's real world applications, across industries.
I mean, you name it, they're using it.
Yeah, marketing, finance, healthcare, energy.
Energy, oh yeah.
Pretty much every sector's finding ways to use this.
And they had some really cool examples in the report, like Shell. I mean,
Shell, yeah.
they're using AI to make sense of just a mind-boggling amount of data.
Oh my gosh, yes, the amount of data they have is it's hard to even comprehend.
Coming from sensors at their facilities, right?
Right, yeah, think about it. 4 trillion rows of data.
4 trillion? It's an insane number.
From 3 million sensors. I mean,
3 million? That's I don't even know.
it's like having 500 sensors on every single person on Earth, constantly gathering information. It's just...
What's wild? Yeah,
It's wild, and AI can actually make sense of that. It's phenomenal.
I know. It shows you what's possible,
But the possibilities they're endless at this point.
They really are. But, all this AI magic.
It needs fuel.
It needs fuel. Yeah.
And that fuel is data.
Data.
Data, that's right.
That's right. And the report highlighted this new approach
Oh, yeah, this is cool.
to managing all this data. It's called the data lakehouse.
The data lakehouse. It's becoming super important.
Yeah, it seems like it's really key to making all this work.
Absolutely, because you gotta, you need a way to organize all this data.
Right, because it's coming from everywhere.
It's coming from everywhere. It's messy.
Messy, yeah. It's how do you even begin to make sense of it?
So think of a data lakehouse. Okay, imagine the ultimate self-serve buffet.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Right. But for data, okay, so anyone who works with data, whether you're, a hardcore data scientist
Yeah.
or someone on the business side who needs to pull a report,
Everyone's got to eat, right?
Exactly. It brings together the best of both worlds, right? So you have the flexibility and scale of these data lakes,
Okay.
But you also have the organization and reliability of those traditional data warehouses.
So it's like having your cake and eating it too with data.
Exactly. You need to run some complex queries. You got it. You need to slice and dice reports. Done. Analyze historical trends. It's all right there.
So it's like having all your data ingredients prepped and ready to go, no matter what kind of AI dish you're trying to whip up.
You got it. That's the perfect analogy.
Perfect. And that's key, right?
Yep.
Because we're not just talking about neatly organized data anymore.
No. It's not just spreadsheets and databases anymore.
Right. Generative AI it's amazing at finding insights in this unstructured data.
Oh, yeah. That's where it really shines.
Things like, I don't know, text documents, images,
audio files.
all those dusty old company files, full of potentially valuable information that was basically just locked away.
It was just sitting there doing nothing.
And generative AI can unlock that. I mean,
it's it can unlock that potential.
That's huge for companies, right? Especially with tons of legacy data just sitting around.
Oh, absolutely. It's a game changer for them.
Speaking of game changers, the report digs into this big question, the whole build versus buy thing with AI.
No, yeah. Build your own AI or buy into an existing platform.
Right. And there seems to be some pretty strong opinions on this.
There are definitely strong opinions on both sides, yeah.
Yeah. So let's break it down. Like, what's the appeal of these third-party platforms like ChatGPT? I mean, they're everywhere, right?
I mean, they're super tempting, right? They're easy to use, very powerful capabilities right out of the box.
Yeah. You don't need a PhD in computer science to figure them out.
Exactly. Very user-friendly.
But the CIOs in this report, they were raising some red flags. Like,
There's some concerns.
yeah, what were they worried about?
Well, one of the big ones is intellectual property,
Oh,
right?
it was a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're feeding your sensitive company data into a third-party AI,
Yeah.
there's a risk there, right? Like, what if they use that information
Against you.
to compete against you down the line? Like, if you're basically training your future rival, you know?
Yikes. Like, what if they become the next big AI powerhouse using your data?
Exactly. Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. And data privacy too, right? I mean,
Oh, huge one. Data privacy.
like, can you really trust these closed models with your confidential information?
Yeah, it's like a black box. You don't really know what's happening in there.
And the report talked about that lack of transparency, right? Like,
Right. You don't know how those models work.
yeah, like what data they were trained on, how they're making decisions. I mean,
It's a bit of a mystery.
it can be a big problem, especially for certain industries, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially industries with, strict regulations.
So it's a bit like handing over your company secrets to a black box and just like hoping for the best.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Not exactly a recipe for success.
Not really, no. So that's why a lot of companies are, exploring building their own AI models.
Okay, so their own in-house AI teams, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And, it takes more upfront investment for sure.
You got to pay those engineers.
You got to pay those engineers, but it gives you complete control, right?
That makes sense.
Over your data, your IP, and how your AI is making decisions. So
Yeah, you're not beholden to some third-party platform.
exactly.
Makes sense. But haven't these powerful AI models, like, haven't they been super expensive to build?
Oh, yeah. Historically, that's been the case.
I always figured it took, like, massive teams of engineers.
Huge teams, tons of computing power.
Like, enough computing power to run a small country.
Yeah, basically.
But this report highlighted some pretty exciting advances.
Oh, yeah. Things are changing.
In smaller, specialized AI models.
Much more efficient.
Okay.
Build and run.
Interesting. So more bang for your buck?
Exactly, yeah. So these smaller models, they're opening up AI to,
The little guys.
just the little guys, to
Yeah.
companies that don't have unlimited budgets, yeah.
This is where things get really interesting, because the report actually mentioned a powerful language model
Oh, yeah.
that was built for less than, like, your average monthly rent.
I know, right? How is that even possible?
How is that possible? I mean,
I saw.
how much could it possibly cost?
Okay, so Databricks, they created this open source language model called Dolly.
Dolly?
And they managed to train it for under $30.
Under $30. Are you serious?
I'm serious, less than a tank of gas.
That's amazing. Okay, but how does it stack up? Can it actually hold a conversation?
It can. So, it's got 6 billion parameters
Right.
compared to, something like GPT-3, which has like 175 billion. So it's smaller.
Significantly smaller.
Significantly smaller, but it can still hold some pretty impressive conversations.
So smaller models, but still big impact.
Big impact, absolutely. This is huge for companies that,
Don't have Google-sized budgets for AI.
Exactly.
It's a game changer.
That's a game changer. AI is no longer just for these tech giants.
It's democratizing AI, is it?
It is democratizing AI, exactly.
That's amazing. So any company can potentially use AI solutions that are customized to them.
Customized to their specific needs, their specific data.
That's incredible. Okay, we've talked about the what of generative AI, like what it is, how it works.
The basics.
But let's get into the so what, right?
Yeah. What does it all mean?
This tech is powerful, but what does it actually mean for the future of work? Like, will robots steal all our jobs?
That's the million-dollar question.
The question on everyone's mind.
And this report, it actually provides a different perspective, from the CIOs who are actually implementing AI in their companies.
So they're seeing it firsthand. They're seeing how it plays out in the real world.
Exactly. They're not just theorizing, they're living it.
Okay, so what's the verdict? Are we all doomed?
Are we all destined to be replaced by AI overlords?
Yeah, like is it Terminator time?
Not quite. So while AI can definitely automate certain tasks, right?
Okay.
the CIOs in this report, they see it more as a way to empower workers,
Okay, so not replace them.
not replace them, empower them.
Empower them. Okay, that's less scary.
Yeah, they believe AI is going to free up employees from, the tedious stuff.
The boring stuff, the repetitive tasks.
Exactly, the repetitive tasks. And that'll allow them to focus on more, strategic things.
More creative, human-centric tasks.
The things that AI can't do.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
The report even had a great example from Adobe, right?
Oh, Adobe. Yeah.
Like, what were they doing?
So they're using AI to help their creative professionals, right? By taking over things like resizing images,
Okay.
color correcting.
That's helpful.
Right. Like things that are time consuming.
But necessary.
But necessary, but not necessarily the most creative part of the job.
Right, so it frees up the human creatives to actually do.
To actually be creative,
Yeah.
the stuff AI can't do.
Exactly, makes sense. So it's like having a super efficient assistant.
Like a digital assistant.
Yeah, to handle all the grunt work so you can focus on the big picture.
That's a great way to put it.
Perfect. And this applies to all kinds of fields, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Think about all those time-consuming tasks that exist in any job, right? Like, I don't know, data entry.
Data entry, generating reports.
Scheduling meetings. Oh my gosh, scheduling meetings.
The bane of everyone's existence.
Seriously. AI can take care of all of that
Yeah, let the AI do it.
and free up the humans to do
To do what we do best.
what we do best. Yeah, solve
Coming
problems,
up with new ideas.
build relationships, all those human things.
I mean-
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
But even with AI as this, helpful partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of responsibility
Oh, absolutely.
that comes with using this tech.
Huge responsibility.
The report mentioned AI governance as something to think about, right?
Yeah, we got to talk about governance. It's super important.
Okay, so AI governance, that sounds a little bit like herding cats,
A little bit, yeah.
Like, how do you even create rules and regulations for
Mm.
technology that's constantly evolving?
Right, it's a moving target, isn't it?
It is. It's like, how do you even keep up?
It's a challenge, but it's a challenge we have to address.
Okay, so what does AI governance actually cover? Like, what are we talking about here?
So it's a broad area. It includes things like, data privacy,
Oh, yeah.
security.
Making sure those systems aren't biased, that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh, yeah. Bias is a huge issue.
And being able to understand, how the heck is AI even making decisions,
The
right?
explainability, yeah, that's a big one.
It's like, how do we know what's going on inside that AI brain?
It's a bit of a mystery, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with data privacy.
Okay, ground zero, yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal these days, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
With data breaches happening left and right.
Left and right, it seems like every day.
It's scary. So how do we make sure that AI doesn't just make this problem worse?
Well, you got to think about it. AI systems, they're often trained on these massive data sets, right?
Okay.
And those data sets, they can contain sensitive personal information.
Oh, yeah, all our secrets are in there?
Pretty much. So protecting that data, it's paramount.
Paramount, yeah, no pressure.
So companies, they got to put strong security measures in place.
Okay, that makes sense.
They got to get informed consent from the people whose data is being used.
Oh, yeah. So no more, burying it in the terms and conditions that nobody reads.
No more fine print. Yeah, got to be transparent.
And make sure they're following all those, the relevant privacy regulations.
All those laws and regulations, absolutely.
Because those are there for a reason, right?
Exactly.
So it's not just about keeping the hackers out. It's about,
Respecting people's rights.
respecting people's fundamental right to privacy.
Fundamental right to privacy. That's it.
That's it. Which is not always easy with AI, right?
No, not always easy.
Because these systems, they're getting more complex.
More complex by the day, it seems.
Yeah, it's like, how do you even keep track of how data is being used or shared within them?
Yeah, it can be a challenge.
That's why transparency is so important.
Transparency is key.
Yeah, companies need to be upfront.
Open and honest.
Yeah, about how they're using AI, what data they're collecting.
Exactly. No more hiding behind the curtain.
Because that just breeds mistrust.
And suspicion.
Yeah, exactly. Transparency builds trust, right?
It does. And accountability.
Accountability, that's another big one.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about bias? This one really freaks me out, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Bias is a huge concern.
It is. How do we make sure that these AI systems aren't just, perpetuating the biases that already exist in our society?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? Because AI systems, they learn from the data they're fed.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. So if the data reflects existing biases,
Okay.
the AI is likely to,
Inherit them.
inherit those biases.
So it's like teaching a child to be prejudiced by only showing them one side of the story.
That's a really powerful way to put it.
Scary, right?
It is scary, yeah. It highlights why it's so important to use diverse data sets when training AI systems.
Diverse data sets. Yeah, like showing the AI the whole picture, not just a narrow slice of it.
Exactly, the whole picture. And having diverse teams working on AI development, too.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right, like bringing in people from different backgrounds, different experiences
Different perspectives.
to challenge each other's assumptions.
So it's like, diversity in the data, diversity of the teams, building the AI
It all works together
to hopefully
on
create
a more balance.
a more balanced AI that's less likely to perpetuate these harmful biases.
Exactly, because even with the best intentions, bias can still creep in.
It's sneaky like that.
It is sneaky. So we need, really robust ways to detect it.
Yeah, like AI bias detectors.
Yeah, think of it as AI bias police.
AI bias police, I like it.
They're on the lookout, making sure everything's fair.
Making sure the AI is playing by the rules.
Exactly. So there are tools and techniques that can help with this.
Okay.
But it also requires a conscious effort, from the humans involved.
The humans have to be paying attention.
We got to be paying attention. We got to be challenging our own assumptions, looking for those blind spots.
It's a constant process.
A constant process of checking, rechecking.
Making sure the AI is staying on the right
in the right path, yeah.
So it's not just about finding the right technical solutions.
Right. No, it's bigger than that.
There's ethical considerations too.
No, yeah. Ethical considerations are huge.
Like, what values do we want these AI systems to, embody?
Yeah, what are our values?
Yeah, how do we make sure that AI is actually used for good?
For good, not for evil.
Not for evil and not just for profit.
Exactly. It's got to benefit society.
Yeah, it's got to benefit humanity.
These are big questions,
Big questions.
that we all need to be asking ourselves as a society.
I mean, it's not just a tech issue anymore.
No, it's a human issue.
It's a human issue, yeah.
It's about who we are, what we value.
Okay, so AI governance, it's about more than just the technical stuff.
It's about the ethics. It's about the big picture.
It's about the big picture. Yeah, and it sounds like we're still figuring this out.
We are. We're very much in the early stages.
This report highlighted the need for, ongoing conversation.
Oh, yeah, constant dialogue.
Collaborations between all these different players, right? Like the AI developers.
Regional policymakers, the ethicists.
Even just, society as a whole.
We all have a role to play.
Yeah, we all need to be part of this conversation about AI governance.
Because it's not something that can be solved in isolation.
A team effort.
A team effort, absolutely.
We all have a stake in the future of AI.
We all do.
And we all need to, we need to be part of shaping that future.
You can't just sit back and let it happen, We
got to be proactive.
Got to be proactive, exactly.
So it's not enough to just be aware of these issues.
No, we got to actively engage.
Engage with them, yeah.
And work together to find solutions.
So it's not just about building the coolest, most advanced AI. It's about building AI that actually benefits everyone.
AI for good.
AI for good, yeah.
AI that makes the world a better place.
Well said. And AI is, it's only as good as the data it learns from.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out, yeah. So if we want AI to be a force for good, we need to make sure it's learning from, diverse, accurate information.
Unbiased information.
Yeah, show the AI the whole world, not just a narrow slice of it.
Exactly. The more perspectives, the better.
Okay, so now I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
What are the unique skills and knowledge that you bring to the table that could be amplified by AI? Think about it.
That's a great question. I'm going to have to ponder that.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Definitely.
Because we all have something unique to offer.
We all do.
And AI can help us unleash that potential, right?
Absolutely. That's the exciting part.
That's the exciting part. That's what we need to focus on.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are. So, think about that while we take a quick break, and we'll be right back. It is something to think about, right? How can AI make what you do even better?
Yeah, and not just you, but all of us working together, combining our smarts with what AI can do. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that ties into what we've been talking about,
Well,
right?
with this whole deep dive into generative AI.
Exactly. How it's changing the game
Oh, yeah.
for businesses, for all of us.
It really is a societal shift, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just about the tech itself.
Well, it's bigger than that.
It is. It's affecting everything, how companies work, what skills we need.
The future of work, oh yeah, it's a big deal.
It's even making us ask these, like, really deep questions, you know, about ethics.
Oh yeah, and responsibility.
What does it even mean to be human when these machines are getting so smart?
It's a little trippy when you really think about it.
It is.
So, okay, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Real-world examples like Shell, Adobe,
Right.
using AI in all sorts of cool ways.
Yeah, and the potential benefits, but also the risks. Gotta acknowledge those too.
We can't just ignore the downsides, right?
No, gotta be realistic.
Exactly. And the importance of data, like
The fuel for the AI engine.
it all comes back to data.
It does, and how companies are, you know, some are building their own AI solutions, some are using existing platforms.
Different approaches for different companies.
Right, it all depends on their needs, their resources.
Exactly. And, you know, throughout all this, we've been talking about human-centered design, being ethical, having strong rules in
And
place.
governance, yeah, making sure AI is used for good.
Because ultimately, AI is a tool.
It is. It's a powerful tool
And it's up to us, the humans, to decide how we use it.
to shape the future.
To shape the future, yeah.
And speaking of shaping the future, you know, one thing that really struck me in the report
Okay.
was this idea of customized AI solutions.
Oh, yeah. Like AI that's built just for you.
Yeah, like ditch those generic one-size-fits-all platforms.
Right, because those can only take you so far.
Exactly. If you really want to unlock the potential of AI, you need something tailored to your specific needs.
It's like having like an AI team that speaks your company's language fluently.
I like that analogy. Yeah, they understand your business inside and out,
They know your data, they know your goals.
and they can uncover those insights, those hidden gems that you would never get from a generic platform.
The stuff that's specific to you, that gives you an edge.
Exactly. Yeah, they can spot patterns in your data that no one else can see, predict customer behavior with incredible accuracy.
Like they know what your customers are going to do before they even do it.
They practically read minds.
It's a little creepy, but also amazing.
It is, and they can even help you develop new products, new services, stuff you never even thought of before.
So we're talking next level intelligence here. It's like a digital twin of your company.
I like that, a digital twin. Yeah, it's like having a super smart AI version of yourself, helping you make better decisions.
And that brings us to another point the report made. The whole data as a competitive advantage thing.
Oh yeah, data's the new oil. We've all heard that.
But it's more than just a saying, right? Like it's real.
It's real, and generative AI, it makes data even more valuable.
Okay, so explain that, because I think people hear that and they're like, yeah, data's important, we get it.
But they don't really get it, right? So think about it. These AI algorithms, they're only as good as the data they're trained on.
Garbage in, garbage out, right?
Exactly. So the better your data, the better your AI.
Makes sense.
And the better your AI, well, the bigger your advantage over your competitors.
So if your competitors got crappy data, their AI is going to be crappy.
And you're going to be way ahead of the game.
So companies are basically sitting on these potential gold mines of AI fuel.
They are, but it's not just about how much data you have.
Okay, so it's not just about quantity.
No, it's about quality.
Okay.
How relevant it is and how well it's organized, you know.
Right, it's got to be the right kind of data.
Exactly, and that's where those data lake houses come in. Remember those?
The self-serve buffet of data.
The ultimate data buffet, yeah, they're crucial for companies that want to use their data effectively for AI.
Because you need that flexibility, that control to really unlock its power.
And if you haven't thought about your data strategy yet, well,
Now's the time.
now's the time, because this report makes it clear data strategy, it's not just an IT thing anymore.
It's not just for the techies in the basement.
No, it's a core business strategy.
It's like up there with marketing and sales and product development.
Absolutely, it's that important.
If you want to thrive in the age of AI,
You gotta have your data game on point.
that's a powerful message.
Hmm.
But let's not forget about the human element here, right? We've talked about how AI can boost our capabilities.
Make us more efficient, more productive.
Yeah, but what about jobs? Like, could this lead to more unemployment?
I mean, that's a valid concern.
It's what everybody's worried about.
Yeah, and this report, they actually address it head on.
Okay, good.
The CIOs, you know, they acknowledge that AI could displace some jobs, for sure.
Especially those jobs with lots of repetitive tasks.
Exactly. Like, if your job is basically just doing the same thing over and over again,
Yeah, AI is probably going to be better at that.
it probably will be. But they also emphasize that AI will create new jobs.
New jobs? Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at all. It's more about a shift, you know?
A shift in what kind of skills are in demand.
Exactly. So as AI takes over the routine stuff, we need more people who can think critically.
Be creative, solve problems.
Use those uniquely human skills, you know, the things AI can't replicate.
Like emotional intelligence, empathy, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the soft skills are becoming the hard skills.
I like that. The soft skills are becoming the hard skills.
Because you can't program that into a machine.
Exactly. So it's like AI is pushing us to level up as a species.
Yeah, to evolve, to learn new things, to adapt.
And it's not just individual workers who need to evolve. Companies do too.
Oh, yeah. Companies gotta adapt or they're gonna get left behind.
They got to invest in training their employees, creating new roles that actually make the most of AI.
Build a culture of, you know, lifelong learning, embrace change,
Because change is the only constant, right?
especially in the age of AI.
It's moving so fast.
So fast. And the companies that get this right, they're going to be the ones who attract and retain the best talent.
The people who can thrive in this new world.
Exactly, because the ability to work alongside AI, it's going to be a highly sought after skill.
It's like the new must-have on your resume.
AI fluency, yeah, gotta have it.
So it sounds like we're on the verge of a major transformation in how we work.
We are. It's an exciting time.
Exciting, but maybe a little intimidating too.
Change can be intimidating, for sure. But, you know, the CIOs in this report, they were optimistic.
Optimistic. Okay, so not all doom and gloom.
Not at all. They see the potential of AI to make work better,
Okay, better how?
more efficient, more productive, and ultimately more fulfilling.
More fulfilling. So not just about getting more done, but enjoying what you do.
Exactly. Imagine a world where you're freed from the drudgery, from those mind-numbing tasks.
I can imagine it, and I like it.
Right. You can focus on the work that actually engages your mind, your passions.
The stuff that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning.
Exactly. It might sound idealistic, but I don't think it's out of reach, you know?
I agree.
The key is to approach AI with a spirit of collaboration, not fear.
Not fear, yeah. See it as a partner, not a threat.
Exactly. It's a tool that can enhance our abilities, not replace us entirely.
And remember, the future of work, it's not something that just happens to us.
We create it.
We shape it.
We shape it together, absolutely.
I love that. Embracing the potential of AI, but being responsible about it.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, for sure.
It is. Speaking of balancing acts, let's shift gears and talk about governance again.
Oh, yeah. Got to keep those reins on the AI.
Because it can be a powerful force, right?
Powerful, and if it's not used responsibly, it could go off the rails.
Exactly. So we talked about AI governance before, but this report, it highlights some really big challenges in this area. Okay, so let's dig in.
Let's do it.
AI governance, it's a little bit like herding cats, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you create rules and regulations for something that's constantly changing?
It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall.
Exactly. It's like by the time you've written the rule, the technology has already moved on.
It's a moving target, yeah. But we got to try, right? We can't just let it run wild.
Okay, so what are the key areas that need attention according to this report?
So they highlighted a few. Data privacy, for sure. That's a big one.
Yeah, that one keeps coming up.
Security, making sure that AI is fair, not biased.
We talked about that, yeah.
And making sure that, you know, we understand how the AI is making decisions, that you can explain it.
Explainability, yeah, like the AI can't just be a black box. We got to be able to peek inside.
We got to know what's going on in there.
Okay, let's start with data privacy, because that's a big deal these days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With all the data breaches happening left and right.
It's like, is our data even safe anymore?
It's a valid question. So with AI, you got to remember, these systems, they're trained on massive amounts of data, right?
Yeah, the more data, the better, supposedly.
That's the idea. But that data, it can contain sensitive personal information?
Oh, yeah, all our secrets are in there.
Pretty much. So protecting that data, it's paramount.
Paramount. No pressure.
So companies, they got to have really strong security measures in place.
Okay, like Fort Knox level security.
Yeah, Fort Knox for data, yeah. And they got to get informed consent from people whose data they're using.
So no more like burying it in the fine print of the terms and conditions.
No more hiding. Got to be upfront and transparent.
Transparent, that's the key word.
It is. People need to know how their data is being used.
They have a right to know.
They do. It's their data. And companies got to make sure they're following all the privacy regulations, you know?
All the laws, the rules, the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards, absolutely.
Because those are there for a reason, right?
They are, to protect people.
So it's not just about keeping the hackers out. It's about respecting people's fundamental right to privacy.
It's about ethics. It's about doing the right thing.
Exactly. And that's not always easy with AI, right?
No, it's not, because these systems are getting so complex.
It's hard to even know what's going on inside them sometimes.
It's a bit of a black box, yeah.
So how do you even make sure that data privacy is being respected when you don't even know how the AI is using the data?
That's where transparency comes in, right?
Transparency again.
Transparency is crucial. Companies need to be open about how they're using AI, what data they're collecting, how they're protecting it.
So no more secrets.
Yeah.
No more hiding behind the curtain.
No more curtain, open book.
Because that just creates suspicion and mistrust, right?
Exactly. Transparency builds trust and accountability.
Accountability, being able to answer for your actions.
Exactly. If something goes wrong, you got to be able to explain what happened, why it happened, and how you're going to fix it.
It is right. It's about making sure companies are, well, they're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And it's not just about, checking boxes and following the letter of the law. It's about the spirit of it, too.
It's about using AI in a way that actually benefits people, you know?
Exactly. AI for good.
AI for good.
That's what we should be striving for.
That should be the goal, right? And it makes me think about that question we asked earlier.
About how AI can amplify our own unique skills.
Yeah, like what are your strengths, your passions?
What are you good at? What do you love to do?
And how could AI help you do that even better?
Yeah, make you even more awesome at what you do.
Because we all have something special to offer, right?
We do. Everyone has their own unique talents.
And AI can help us unleash that potential.
It can take us further, help us achieve things we never thought possible.
That's the exciting part, right?
That's what we need to focus on, the possibilities, the potential.
Not just the risks, the fears.
Exactly, because AI is here to stay.
It's not going anywhere.
So we might as well figure out how to use it for good.
Make it work for us, not against us.
Exactly, we're all in this together, right?
We are, humans and AI, shaping the future.
And that future, it's not predetermined.
It's not set in stone.
It's something we're creating with every choice we make.
Every day.
Every day, yeah. So let's choose to create a future where AI helps us thrive.
Where it makes life better for everyone.
More equitable, more sustainable.
More fulfilling. Where work is actually enjoyable.
Work that matters. Work that makes a difference.
That's a future worth fighting for.
Absolutely. And that's what we've been exploring in this deep dive, right?
How generative AI is changing the game. For businesses, for society.
For all of us.
We've covered a lot, from real-world examples to the potential benefits and risks of this technology.
The importance of data, different approaches to AI development, ethical considerations, governance.
It's a lot to take in, but it's important stuff.
It is, because this is the future we're talking about.
And we all need to be informed, engaged, and ready to shape that future.
Because the future of AI isn't something that just happens to us.
It's something we create.
We create together.
So let's create a future we can all be proud of.
A future where AI helps us reach our full potential as individuals and as a species.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into generative AI.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.
The future is waiting.